Past lives is by far one of my absolute favorite subjects. I could talk about this for hours. But today what I want to do is I want to talk about some of the key elements that are going to shift up your intuitive abilities in a unique way, understanding that there's even more connections out there than you may have known. And if you're new to this channel, this is one of those delicious videos that are going to get you to think a little bit and go, wait a minute, there's so many more possibilities out there. And by stepping into more possibilities, that's where our intuitive channel opens up further and further. So if you're new, please click subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification button because then you'll get all of the upcoming videos as well. And you and me, we can walk this journey together. Okay, past lives. I'm pausing right in the beginning of this for a reason. Like I said, I could talk about past lives for hours, but I want to hit you today with some of the basics, some of the game changers, some of the things that give you those aha moments of, oh, now that makes sense. Now I understand why I intuitively felt this or felt that, or that came out of the blue. I didn't understand that at all. Why didn't I get any answers about this? A lot of our life we walk through and we struggle because sometimes we pick things up that we just have no idea what they might be. Sometimes we're drawn to do something that we're like, I just don't quite get it. And on a deeper level, sometimes it's a struggle for us to understand the big picture of our journey, perhaps our healing journey or our learning journey while we're here. And past lives is one of those key components that helps explain a lot of this. And what I'm going to explain to you today will help really explain a lot of this. Because the key to past lives is that they're not linear. Past lives are not happening one after another after another. Past lives are all happening at the same time. Now, let me explain. We have reincarnation, which absolutely, it's a good way to start thinking about multiple lives is reincarnation, because it's a way that we can wrap our head around it to say, okay, well, when I die, then I'm going to come back as blah, 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 because we are on linear time. It's natural for us to think in terms of linear time. And this is why that type of teaching works for us. It helps us to kind of grasp past lives and, having multiple lives. If we were to expand even further on this, however, if we go deeper, which is exactly what I'm inviting you to do today, all of these lives are happening at the same time. And actually, your entire lifetime, your one lifetime you're having right here, has all happened in an instant. Here's the best way to explain it. Linear time is something that we experience here on Earth. We come down into a physical body, which holds us onto a linear timeline, and we experience linear time. Why do we experience that? Because we want to experience what it is to wait or to want or to be surprised. All of these things are things you need on linear time. But we're not on linear time on the other side. So before we come down here, we are not in linear time. This means if your higher self, so I'll do it this way. Higher self is a ball of light, right? And you take a little chunk out of that ball of light and you throw it down into an adorable little baby body. and then that baby body grows up. But you take a chunk of that higher self, of that ball of light, and you throw it into a body, and that body has a lifetime. And when the lifetime's over, that light leaves the physical body, returns back to the higher self, and reconnects with the higher self, collecting that experience. Now, because the higher self on the other side is not functioning in linear time, that higher self is not waiting for that one life to come back before another one is sent down. So all of the lives are all happening at the same time, and they're also happening in an instant. It's like pulling a ping pong ball out of you, hitting the wall, it comes right on back, and you go, oh, now I know what it's like to hit a wall. Probably not the best analogy for having a life, but maybe it is a good analogy for having a life, knowing what it now feels like to hit a wall. We don't come down here to learn things. That would be saying our higher self doesn't know anything. We come down here to have experiences in linear time. So a higher self is sending pieces down into lifetimes to be able to experience what it feels like to wait or to hope or to want or to be surprised or to be, bamboozled or hurt or any kind of emotion. That's one of the main reasons that we have lifetimes. Now, the learning does happen in a lifetime. Absolutely. It happens in the lifetime. So back to linear time. Now, the higher self, ball of light, takes a chunk out, sends it down into a body. Body runs around, has an entire life. The body dies, the chunk of light comes back, reconnects with the higher self. The higher self is doing this on many levels all the time. So not only are there multiple lives happening at the same time, but they can be happening in all different time periods. It's not like the past 100 years is actually the past 100 years. For the higher self on the other side, it's all happening at the same time. So all these lives happening all at the same time, and not all of them on Earth too. We have to be, not naive to the fact that we have multiple experiences in multiple different realms, different locations, all this type of stuff. And it's the program that the light is sent into, and the physical body holds you in that program. You live out that program, and then you reconnect. Now, does this mean you're not really in your life? Absolutely not. You are absolutely here. You are absolutely feeling everything and connected. And the other people that are close to you in your soul group, the other higher selves that are around you on the other side, they're down here with you here as well, but they're also in the other lifetime. So all of these are all happening at the same time. Can you see why I can talk about this for hours? But I want to attach this to intuition because that's the focus today. So now that I've said that, now that your medieval self is experiencing a life at the exact same time that your current self here listening to this video is, now that you know that the life that you're having in the year 3050 is having its life simultaneously, now that you know that all these lives are all happening simultaneously, this is going to help you to understand some of these intuitive connections that I talked about earlier. Why it is that sometimes you feel compelled to do something, but there's no outcome or reason for it. Why sometimes you know things that never come into your lifetime, or why sometimes you have a fear of something that you've never experienced in your lifetime. You have no idea. I have one of them. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's just one of those things where it's like, I'm never going to experience that. So I'm oddly afraid of it, but and 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, never had experience to cause me the fear, but yet I have it. Same with passions and loves and things like this. The understanding of the full and entire pattern of your learning history and the path that you're taking, how you went from here to here, right? Understanding that on a deeper level all happens by understanding that all of your lives are happening at the same time, and they all have very similar patterns. And sometimes they, for lack of a better word, can bleed through energetically to each other. I say sometimes because I'm tiptoeing into it. Nah, they bleed through. This is why it's very easy when you do past life regression with a therapist. It's very easy to be able to access another lifetime because it's happening at the same time, because it's you. Because it's just it's the other side of that particular veil, but it's still going on. Imagine a huge building that has 200 stages, theatrical stages, and you only realize that you're in the one. You didn't know that, yes, I'm on stage, which represents my life. This play that is happening, that's unfolding, is my life. So I'm on stage, and here's all the other characters and actors, my soul group is in this performance with me, and this represents my life. And all you've known up to this point is that there was one stage. And you were told that when your performance is done, that you will step off that stage and step onto a new stage, and that will be your next life. I'm here to share with you that you're on stage, but behind the curtains that wrap all the way around your stage is another stage, and another stage, and another stage, is another life, and another life, and another life. All these lives are all happening at the same time, and every now and then, one of those curtains kind of opens up a little bit between these stages, and one theatrical stage kind of gets the vibe of the next theatrical stage, and it can kind of bleed through that curtain a little bit. And this is why we occasionally pick up things intuitively that we can't seem to put together, but they oddly fit. And sometimes we feel on a really immersive level the why behind why we're going through all of our transition and our transitional path. It's because sometimes we're feeling intuitively through the other curtains. And because it's all happening all at the same time, we have easy access to it, but we weren't told we had easy access to it. So I'm going to give you a task because you know me, I love to. I just don't seem to be able to go through one of these without giving you a tool of some sort, because that's my passion. I'm going to give you a tool. Find the form of meditation that works for you. Don't even find it. You already know it. So for some people, they prefer to meditate, sit down, empty mind. They're very good at it. Me, not so much. My meditation looks very different than that. For some people, meditative walk helps. For some people, meditative house chores help, right? And for some people, it's, being able to just focus in on one thing for an extended period of time. However you meditate best, yoga, doesn't matter. I want you to meditate 10 minutes. I mean, not even much, right? And I want you to allow yourself to let the curtains between lives fall. I want you to just set the intention of being open to connecting to another past life. It is wonderful to work with someone who can do past life regression. Can you see, though, that I'm not a fan of the word past because it kind of puts it into a linear format when it's really all happening at the same time? But I want you to know that you can connect as well. I want you to know that you can use your intuitive channel to find the connections, find the similarities, maybe even find a reason for something in this lifetime that doesn't quite make complete sense to you, and you can't seem to grab all the pieces, but maybe you can pick them up intuitively. And I guess my big message is in this session is that sometimes picking up a piece intuitively from a pattern of your lifetimes can be very healing and can be very eye-opening and can be very empowering and encouraging for you on your journey. Why am I in this situation repeatedly? What is it that I am here to learn about this? Sometimes looking through the curtain at another lifetime, you can be the observer of yourself having another experience and go, oh, I see it. Because it's hard to see it when we're in it, but sometimes it's helpful to see it when we're outside of it. So overall, what I want you to take away from this session is that we're on linear time. We're shielded from all knowledge because of it, and that's fine. We've signed up for it. It's part of the path. Our intuitive channel is a beautiful tool to be able to help us see beyond what we're shielded of. And our other lives are all happening at the same time. We're all in it together. It's not, I'm this way because my last life this happened. It's not, if I'm good, then in my next life, then I won't end up coming back as a cricket, right? It's that when we look at the perspective of linear time here on Earth and understand that we come from a space that is not linear time, that is everything is happening in an instant from human perspective, then we understand that it's all happening at the same time. We're all in it together. It's all the same pattern. We're just living it out in a bunch of different ways. To be able to observe that and know that reminds you of how incredible you are, how empowering this lifetime is, how amazing it is what you can do. And perhaps take that observational perspective of another lifetime or 2 or 3 and learn something from that to be able to apply it to this one. Now, intuitively, it answers a lot of questions. And I could list out 17 more of those questions, but instead, I think jump into that tool, jump into that task, because when you find a meditation that works for you, where for 5 or 10 minutes you can say, hey, I really want to tap into and observe another life, or even interact with another one of my lives, you start to understand yourself on a deeper level that words can't even express. So I would encourage you to use this tool, try it, see what comes of it. If it doesn't work the first time, try again. This is one of many tools. And I teach this in a Traversing Your Past Lives course, where I can, if you really need a structure, like an absolute structure, because I'm a structure person, and this is why I teach the way I do. But if you really need a structure, that's the course. That's the course for you to take, because I set up the whole meditation, like step here, look up, this is what's going on, go this way, go that way, see what happens. So if you need that structure, Traversing Your Past Lives, I'll put a link in. That course was literally built for this. But overall, I want you to play. I want you to have fun. I want you to understand that you're inside an experience that is unlimited. Absolutely unlimited. We take that one step back from linear time and you start to see it on a bigger picture, and your intuitive channel opens. When you open up to the concept of all of our lives happening at the same time, it also enhances your manifesting abilities. So I'm going to send you over to this video next to start practicing manifesting at a different perspective to really amp up that game as well.